Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kudash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. All right, in this lesson, I want to go into the topic dealing with being circumspect. All right, but also what you say, how you say it and who you say it to. Okay, and what I mean by this is, which we originally, we should already know how to do this, all right, using wisdom in the world. But now it's getting to the point where you really got to be careful, and know who you're talking to, and what information you might reveal to them in what you're telling them, all right, because there's a lot of people that actually, let's say dealing with the whole, Vanessa, and stuff like that. There are people that actually have it, okay, and they are on the side of, everybody getting acquainted with Vanessa, okay, and when you talk to them, all right, especially if it's somebody you don't know or you're not, familiar with, they may come off like, oh yeah, listening, this, that, and the third, but they can tell, if you don't speak, with in a certain way, they can tell what side you're on, so to speak, because there is a division. Trust and believe, there's a great division, all right, and they can tell what side you're on, okay, and they keep that in their heads. People who you may speak to and you may think it's a regular conversation. Oh, what's it, Jerome or whatever his name is, or he says he got it and you like, oh, you didn't get it, and nah, you're not really with it. You could say, yeah, no, I don't believe it's, I think there's something else more to it and I don't trust them and all that. Guess what? Chances are Jerome is going to keep that in his head. And when the perfect opportunity arises, Jerome going to lead them right to you. All right, especially if maybe he knows you or he knows where you live or whatever the case may be, because they're going to start coming after us individually. They're going to start coming after, those that are not with it, okay, and trying to hunt them down, like a similar form of contact tracing. Because, as they sweep through the masses, the rest, there'll still be remnants, fragments, portions, pieces of groups, pockets, as they call it, of people that ain't with it. And they're gonna track them down, all right, find out where they are, and they're gonna keep narrowing their searches. And a way that they can continue to narrow their search is through other people, through your neighbors, through your friends, through people that may know you, all right, or may have been acquainted with you, all right, and yes, they will snitch, all right, or whatever you want to call it. They will sell you out. They will whatever they'll say, yo, this person, nah, they're totally against it. I know they don't have it, and they're so they look like, or they sound like somebody that might push it, or even they try to convince me, not to take it. All right, and Lord, which it's all going to be set up by Yahweh Bashim Yahushua anyway, but just keeping that into consideration when you talk to people, what you say, you got to know who you're talking to, all right, and pick their brain, all right, if you do talk to people, but, it may be like, oh, just a few words that you might have dropped, but they trust me, man, that'll come back, okay, depending on how you said it, because, there's certain people that you can tell, all right, this person I can tell I could say this to, or this person I could say this to, sometimes you just find out where their perspective is on it first, and you can perceive through the spirit whether you should even say anything or not, okay, you might be at work, and the conversation comes up, that is while you still have a job, right? And you're out here giving your opinion, and it's, man, breaking down the this and the that and the science behind it. And next thing you know, you're getting called up to the manager's office, and he's out here, telling you they're getting ready to let you go. There's been word that you're spreading, such and such, or you're one of such and, that now that's different as opposed to, you may believe it, but you may just say, oh, I haven't had a chance to, or, and I'm getting mine in a week or two, just so they can get off your back. Okay. But based on what you say and how you say it, these people listen, okay? And they will be quick, all right, to give you up. All right, even family members, which that's prophesied in the scriptures. Now, this is the book of Revelation 13 and 14. It says, and deceiveth them. Now, I'm just hitting the point, all right, and this is dealing with that revived beast, okay, which is the power structure today. Now, it says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should, keyword, saying to them that dwell on the earth, all right, that they should make an image to the beast, which we know it's a system, which had the wound by a sword and did live. So they're saying to the people, all right, and we're literally seeing them do that, because if you notice, this new normal is a new system. Literally, it's a new system, all right, that's being ushered in, okay, through them, through coercion tactics. Oh, you see this? You see this? I mean, the only logical thing to do is what we're doing, right? Yeah, just lock it back down. And then these dumbass people, oh, yeah. That's a good idea. I didn't think of that. You know, because it says what? Saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast. And there are going to be a lot of people that are going to be down with it. Okay. And they're going to be part of that image or worshiping that image, meaning that they're going to spot you out. Okay, they're going to rat you out. They're going to sell you out. All right. They're going to say, oh, yeah, I have a neighbor, you know, that lives in my building, you know, and I know he doesn't. No, you should check his. He's in apartment this, or he lives right across the street here, you know. Or you may just see them, one of your neighbors leading them to your, I mean, hey. But it says, verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So that's where it's headed. Now, people who do or will and or are worshiping the beast are going to help in finding people that are not or do not plan to worship the beast and are not worshiping the beast or the image of the beast, all right, or have his mark. Okay, they're going to help this system. They're going to help the authority. They're going to do everything. They're going to be a part of the beast. Okay, and they're gonna. Hey, that's why the scriptures talk about being as pilgrims upon the earth. All right, because we're gonna be almost like fugitives. You know, some of us in certain situations and circumstances that we're gonna be put in. Okay. All right, so this is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 31. It says, think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. So what does that tell you? That tells you that the theme of the day of the Lord is not going to be, you know, a peaceful thing for the world. Verse 35, for I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. Now, father, son, daughter, you know, mother, they don't just get up and just go at each other's throats. No, there has to be a cause, because the family unit is a strong unit. It's a strong bond. So there's going to be something, all right, which is going to cause that division. And that something is Yahweh Shai. All right, it's the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, because once you wake up, once the Lord takes you out, you're no longer a part of that. Okay. But as you continue your road and your path in the body of Yahweh Shai, guess what? It's going to lead to situations like this. All right. When now, because of your faith, you become a burden to those that maybe you live with, or those that, you know, are of your family members that don't believe what you believe. Okay. Because then it gets to the point where in order to push more draconian mandates, they'll start coming after those that are closer to you to try and get to you. They'll try to make their lives hell to try and get to you. Oh, well, if there's anybody in your household that hasn't met Vanessa yet, well, you can't work here because you're living with somebody that hasn't met Vanessa, and that's a problem. You know? Hey, So and now that's gonna make this individual go home and say, yo, son or daughter or whatever, you better go meet Vanessa because I'm not finna lose this job or not get this job interview or lie on this application and then they come and find out, because of you. It's either that or you out. You get out. So as we're reading here, man, the Lord said what? He's coming to set variance in the household. All right. But this is not going to be just between your family. This is going to be between your friends or your so-called friends, acquaintances, all of that. And there's a part of this that's going to make it, harder, but it's really going to just be harder on your flesh. And if you're locked into the spirit, you'll be able to overcome it. Okay. So moving on, this is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 6, verse 24. It says, and at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein, because all hell's going to be breaking loose. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your road. Yeah, because you're going to be having droughts, you're going to be having famines, you're going to be having chaos, all right? Different wild things on the earth, all right? Punishing people, judgments going out left and right, okay? And it's going to, even starting now, there's going to be that divide, man. And trust me, right now, it may seem like people don't care. Some people are just like, yeah, well, if you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't. Right? There's some people that are just like, look, I met Vanessa, but I don't care if you met her or not. Now, how are they going to really cause that animosity and that hatred and division? When they start making everybody pay the price like they're doing now. When they're saying, oh, oops, guess what? Everybody put the mask on again. All right, put it back on. Regardless of how well you know Vanessa, put your mask on. If you've known her for 2 shots or you know her for 1, put your mask back on. And then they're going to say, well, it was because, there's this, Delta out here and not everybody wants to come and meet Vanessa. So now in order to protect ourselves, we got to go back to the old measures and lock everything back down again. Now, what do you think is going to happen when people who have met Vanessa, who in their minds, there's no reason why they shouldn't be able to go back to work or shouldn't be able to not have a mask on, are now suffering those quote unquote consequences because of you? Oh yeah, they're going to be mad. They're going to be mad. There's people right now that are mad. But when they start going through frustrating restrictions and then there's somebody to blame for it, that's when things get very, very chaotic and violent, because originally there was a lockdown and people were upset, but for a while they could sort of get cooled down because the only thing they could blame was an invisible enemy. Remember? We're fighting the invisible enemy. Vanessa's running rampant, but nobody could touch her. But now they're going to lock it back down again, but who's going to be the one you can blame? Oh, it's these people. It's them. You can physically see them. It's them right there. And people are going to what? They're going to start going at each other. Okay? Because of you. Look at this, man. Just go get the shit, man. Hey. So, but then you're going to have people on the other side. So and when the scriptures say that there's going to be division, it's going to be on many levels. One people shall stand up against another. Friends shall fight one against another. All right? When adversity hits, okay, people's true colors show. All right, tensions get more intense and heightened. All right, so at that point, man, emotions are running wild and rampant in people, and you got people that can't control themselves, as the scriptures say, incontinency shall be multiplied upon the face of the earth. All right, so don't expect, don't, as the scriptures say, put your trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because you don't know who, all right, necessarily will actually be there for you in that time. All right, the one you can put your trust in and have it solidified is in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay, so with that, I just wanted to do that lesson. Going into remaining circumspect. That also goes into what you say and observing who's around you. All right, who's in your company, because there's a lot of agents and there's a lot of people with wicked intentions. All right, that would love to ensnare you. Okay? So with that, I hope you were edified. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Kudash. Until next time, Shalom.